Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here. That was pathetic. What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today we have quite the unboxing. So this is all the other stuff that was in that big box from Tools for Gents, which by the way is an awesome retail. If you guys have never gone there just to see all of their wild and crazy stuff, they've got stuff that it's so far beyond what you would normally expect to see from a knife retailer. It's definitely worth checking out. A lot of the wild stuff is definitely Midgards Messer, which some of you are familiar with, many of you are familiar with, and some of you are not. At least worth going and looking at for sure. So highly recommendable, great place to buy stuff. I'll link it down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's up to you. Thanks to Tools for Gents for sending these in. We have a couple of things here. Today's video is just an unboxing and first impressions, no review. So I think these two are different things, and then we have one. I have no idea what's in this box, but I know it's just ridiculous. So we're going to save that for the end of the video. But these two are different knives. So this says TFG 03, blah, blah, blah. Tools for Gents, Gitano Gen 2 folding knife. Odama Steel, Bjorkman Twist. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't catch that. Real Stag. Okay, now I'm super curious now. This is like what do we call this style? It's a Spanish, I think it's some sort of Spanish style. Somebody in the comments will have it. And I'm just having a brain fart right now. I'll stick to just showcasing it. It's not a fixed blade. So we have this made in Italy. Nice sheath. I don't know anything about sheath, so like if you're a leather worker and you think this is nice, you let people know. But I don't know anything about this. It looks nice to me. I do appreciate the fact that it has a pocket clip on the sheath. So, yeah, it's kind of a modern, traditional knife. So we have Real Stag, which we definitely don't see as much on these style of knives. Look at this. Wow. Is this laser? Yeah, there's no texture to this. It looks like there is, but there's no texture to it. Probably titanium backspacer. Anodized hardware. We have kind of almost looks like the cap, like the butt cap on a round, but they've got the number. It's a limited model, obviously. Oh, very nice flipping action, and then very, very nice, sort of subdued. Typically, oh, this is Fox. Okay, so this is a titanium frame lock. Typically, when we see Damasteel, we see it hyper polished, and some people like that, some people don't. I think it's kind of nice and refreshing to see such a premium. If you're new or you don't know what I'm saying, or you think that there's a lot of people who say, does he mean Damascus? He's saying Damasteel. No, I mean Damasteel. This is proprietary, performance-oriented stuff. You have a combination of very specifically RWL34, which is great stuff, and PMC 27. So ultimately, it's very specific. Unlike, regular Damascus, which can literally be any two compositions, right? So if you're buying $25 Amazon Damascus, you're probably buying one dog water composition layered with another dog water composition. Whereas if you're buying from Chad Nichols, for example, you're buying two or more premium compositions, right? Sometimes it's San Mai. Damasteel is a super high quality powder Damascus made specifically from those compositions. And ultimately you end up with a very, very beautiful blade that also performs very similarly to CPM 154, which is very well balanced and a good, performance steel for sure. It's kind of nice to see this not polished, so you can appreciate all those layers. Look at that. Man, that is beautiful. Very, very cool. I can't help but wonder what it would look like if it was polished, but I think this is the right look for this knife. When you have the black, the bronze, you've got the horn, right? I think a polished blade might have looked a little funny, so I think this is pretty cool. I like that. The flipping action on it is really nice. There was a time where Fox knives just could not figure out their flipping action, but this feels pretty good. It also is completely and totally solid. Not going to be for everybody, but it's a really, really nice knife for sure. Let's move on to this other box here. This confuses me. Does the knife have... The knife itself does not have a pocket clip. I wonder why. Is this... Are they traditionally... Right? I don't know. Maybe somebody who knows more about this style of design historically can tell me. This next one here is called the Bullet Knife Gen 2. Stainless steel Magna Cut, titanium bead blast rolling pattern. Okay. The Bullet Knife. Magna Cut. We have another quality seal here we got to get through. There we go. All right. A little heavier than the first knife maybe. Oh, it is a big one. Also Fox. Okay. So we have a very large milled clip. We have, I kind of like this. This is kind of cool. Like it all the milling centers around the Hinderer style LBS or lock bar stabilizer. And we call it that because it is an over travel and it looks, this is double over travel. So it's true Hinderer form. So we've got the lock bar insert, which is the over travel, and then the LBS, which is another over travel, but it also keeps the lock bar from pushing in this way, which is kind of neat. Lighter detent than I would have expected. Hold on, let's do that again. It's lighter than I would have expected, but it's still fine. Just like a plain tumbled finish on the blade, which is nice. We have kind of a... It's kind of a tanto, but it's not. It's more of a subtle... You know, it's straight, and then a subtle change in that curvature. Harpoon notch right here. Nothing on the show side. That's nice. Outside of the TFG logo, probably the designer logo, and then the number 55 out of 75 for the run. What does it say right here? Magna Cut. I don't know how Fox is running their Magna Cut, but I feel like I asked this question. I want to point this out. The lock bar right here, the cutout, like the relief cut, so you have access, is pretty sharp, and lock bar tension is pretty high, probably due to a high... not the fact that it's internal, but that's a very small relief cut with a lot of material. It's also pretty high up on the titanium, so there's a lot of tension there on that. And then this is pretty sharp on the disengagement. But it's a cool knife, right? I mean, if you're considering this, though, you should be aware of that. It's a fairly uncomfortable disengagement on this, but time spent with this knife, we'll talk more about it in the final review if you want to wait for that. Nice and smooth, though. Solid lockup. Sometimes on these Fox frame locks, I get a little up and down. These seem to be fine. Yeah, it's pretty flat. Let's look at the engagement here. I can't really tell. Doesn't have a specific, maybe that little smudge right there. So maybe 25-30%. Seems fine. Okay, cool. Really curious about the big box. Really curious about that. I think it's a pretty basic steel. Sorry, my phone alarm's going off. Parachete. Stainless steel. It says stainless steel D2. Okay, well, D2 is not a stainless steel. Maybe they mean the frame or the handles or something? I don't know. D2 is not quite a stainless steel. Stonewash blade, G10 olive handle. I don't care so much about... Oh, this is a prototype. Okay. I don't care so much about the mislabeling of D2. I'm just more concerned with what's actually in here. Oh, it's big. And it is heavy. Oh, it's... It's not a fixed blade! Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Hold on. What the heck is this? What kind of nonsense? Like my dad used to keep an old World War II folding machete. Yeah. So then does this retract? Let's get this all the way out. Yeah. So, oh no, this folds in. Oh, neat. Neat. Yeah. It's a big lockback, which is, if you're going to have a big machete like this, you know, that's what you want, is a big, heavy-duty lockback. Look at this. Oh, my gosh. That is absolutely wild. How ridiculous and fun. So, G10, look at the texturing there. That's pretty cool. They're just kind of all over the place. What are these? Are these like soccer balls? And then they just become more and more and more layered as you get out here. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Made in PRC. I think I understand what that means, but I don't know. Oh my gosh. The jimping up here. What does this say? Oh, how do we pronounce his name? Jorg Sprave? Yeah. So this makes way more sense now. he also, so the last thing that I had on the channel that he designed was the rescue hammer, which was also Midgards Messer, but he's done a ton of other stuff. Tons of other stuff. Yeah, this is neat. Very controlled action. It's not the type of action where this is going to like swing down on you. But as this closes up, the blade falls into this, which is made to just keep the sharpened edge from being exposed. So very, very cool. Fun stuff from Tools for Gents. Absolutely ridiculous with the giant folding machete, which will be a fun thing to go out and test. But that's going to be it for today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. There's the card. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on the Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.